I think the 2-day training course is dead. Welcome to episode 1 of our Society Talk podcast. This is an authentic brainstorm series where we're getting together with other lash artists, mentors, instructors to talk about industry and how we can evolve it and make it better. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Jess.
And we're both lash artists and educators.
Yeah, I've been a lash artist for 8 years and an educator for 4. I am originally from a small town in Colorado and then worked about 6 years in Denver, Colorado. And I've been in San Diego working alongside Danielle for the last 2.
And you were an instructor there.
I was, for about 2 years before I came here, and then I've been educating here for about 2 years.
And she helped us launch our Lash Lift and Tint certification.
Yep.
And she's an excellent extensions instructor as well.
Yep.
And I'm Danielle. I've been doing lashes for 18 years. I've been an instructor for 12. I live in 2 cities, San Diego and Monterey. I go back and forth. I have 2 salons. They're both the first salons in each city. And we train and nurture many successful lash artists that eventually spread all over the world. And so we both have a lot of experience. We're constantly involving new strategies to help people do lashes better. I think we're both really passionate about the industry. We love what we do. And, it makes me super happy when I get to share that with other people. So part of this whole podcast inspiration was a new idea that we had a couple weeks ago. And we found a hole in the industry, or I should say, I think there's just a little problem that could be solved when it comes to training and certifying lash artists. And to be honest, I think the 2-day training course is dead. I don't think that it's a very good way to learn how to do lashes. We've seen a lot of people, they learn some lashes in beauty school, but it's usually subpar education, as most beauty school is. You get your license and then you go find advanced education, but a lot of people are coming out of beauty school and they think they already have what it takes.
Right.
So we've seen the industry change. Before volume was really even a thing, I should say when volume became a thing, I used to say that a lash artist should learn classic and then take volume 6 months later. That's how long I thought it kind of took lash artists to fully get grasp of classic.
I actually didn't even offer students to learn volume until they learned classic. Like, learning just the volume course wasn't even an option, because I was like, you have to know the fundamentals before you even, do volume.
Agreed. That exactly. Like, it's a prerequisite to do volume is to master classic first. So it was actually really painful for me when, I don't know how many years back, in order to be competitive, we had to start offering a 2-day training course, classic, and then volume the next day. It pains me to do that, but that's that became the industry standard. And I've met lash artists that never trained in classic. They went straight to volume.
Yep.
So we had a discussion a couple weeks ago, and I said, okay, you know what? No more of the 2-day trainings. No more. Let's create an ongoing mentorship program. And I like the term mentorship because, of course, you can get a textbook and learn the basics, but to be truly good at lashes, you need to learn it, practice it, and then get feedback. So we are in the middle of developing, and this is just to be honest, because we're creating this because we want feedback from other people in the industry. How do they feel about this? So please leave a comment what you think. If you want to learn more, you want to be a part of launching this program, you agree or you disagree, please let us know in the comments. But basically, we are on the edge of launching a 6-week program. And it's not every week. It is 3 in-person models once every 2 weeks. And that allows the student to do hands-on, have 2 weeks to practice, truly develop their insecurities as a lash artist, to then come in 2 weeks later, have an evaluation, have some mentorship. But really, that third one, 2 weeks later, is really where it will probably lock in.
Right.
So I'm really excited about this. I think I'm ready to shake up the industry and say, this is a new industry standard. And we want to help other salons implement this by providing them with the whole blueprint. So Jess, now that I'm done introducing the whole concept, what made you excited about being part of this mentorship program development?
Yeah, I think it's something that's different. And I think it's something that I haven't seen anyone else do any sort of program like this. And I think it's something that I wish I would have had when I started lashing. It was kind of like I learned and then I was kind of like thrown out to the world. And I think that I'm kind of excited to be a part of something that I think no one's really done. I mean, if they have, I think ours will probably be different. So I was lucky. I would be lying if I said I didn't have people or mentors to look up to when I was learning. However, that's not the case for everybody. And I do think that having that one-on-one, hands-on, experience with someone, I do think that will set lash artists apart.
And I too had a mentor.
Yeah.
I had somebody who could give me feedback in real time all the time. And we've both worked, I mean, I know you've been here for 2 years and you came from another salon full of lash artists, but I have 2 locations full of lash artists, which means every new lash artist has a team of support.
Yeah.
And so it's so much easier for somebody, and I've had years of reviews from people saying I couldn't be this good if I didn't have people to ask questions. So this is my solution to creating something, and also like we want other people who are experienced to be mentors. Absolutely. And I think that there's so many people out there that they're like, I want to help, or I want to teach, or you're having the same results that we're having, where it's really hard to teach a 2-day course and feel good. I think I feel bad sometimes.
Yeah, I almost feel guilty. Like I'm like, okay, bye. Like,
I hope
good luck.
I hope you'll be okay out there.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of instructors out there who are going to love having this program to offer their future mentees.
Danielle, what do you think inspired you to move beyond the certification into a mentorship program?
I think it's like mentorship is my life. Like I feel like every day, I mean, even to this day, I have lash artists who are really great lash artists, but they'll text me and they'll say like, what should I say to this client?
Yeah.
and it's
true.
like, it's the part of the community that I think everybody needs. And I just feel like it's missing outside of our little ecosystem.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like when we sat here 2 weeks ago and we're like, let's just make this totally different. I was like, oh, this feels so good. I haven't felt so good about training in a long time because I'm just not a fan of the 2-day training.
Yeah. Has there been any like surprises when like developing this whole program?
So at first what we were throwing out at the wall was like a 12-week program.
Yeah, we're just like, wow, that sounds great, but also
that's
like
long.
a lot.
That's too
sounds
long.
like a lot. Also, like, not just for them, but kind of for us. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing 12 weeks from now. Like, I might,
Well, I think part of the problem, and I think other instructors can agree with me, is that it's hard to plan a 2-day course far enough in advance to get students to sign up, but also not knowing students are going to sign up. So you're blocking off 2 full days of your schedule, and let's keep it real. Like, I make great money as a lash artist. Do I want to open my schedule with the risk of not getting a student, or do I want to take clients?
Right.
So there's almost like this blockage of having classes scheduled. And I think energetically, I always say that I take blame sometimes if we don't get any enrollments, because I'm like energetically blocking it because I just feel like it's a weird, it's not efficient in planning. So my idea was that if I open up 1 day on my schedule every 2 weeks and I dedicate that to mentoring, we haven't mentioned this yet, we've only talked about the certification part. I think you need the 6-week program minimum to get certified.
Right.
But I think there's another thing that people need. How about those lash artists that are, 6 months or a year in,
right,
and they're like doing great, but they're like, I just need a little bit of mentorship now. Maybe I don't want to go through the whole 6 weeks. I want to do a drop-in day.
Yep.
So what we think would be great is we have this day dedicated, and of course there's 2 of us, so I don't mind committing. Every other Friday is what we've decided. Right. We're going to open our doors. We have a room that can fit multiple tables. We could either have somebody in the middle of their 6-week program or a drop-in. From an instructor's perspective, what's the gap between what students learn in class and what they need in the real world?
I feel like there's gonna be scenarios that come up when you're lashing that, like, where when you're doing models and you're learning lashes, these people know that they're models. You probably inspected their lashes before they came in. Like, it's kind of like
It's almost not real life.
It's almost not real life, right? But when you're lashing and you're, going through your normal day, like, you're going to have things come up. Like, you might have someone who can't wear lashes, who isn't a good candidate. There's going to be certain scenarios that happen in the real world that maybe those are things you don't really cover in, like, a normal class setting, because you're kind of just bringing people in who are perfect models to be worked on. But realistically, that's not always going to be the case. So, there's going to be scenarios or problems that you might even run into that you didn't even think of until they're in your face, and you're like, what the heck do I do right now? Like, how do I handle the situation? And I feel like actually with the mentorship program, because it's an ongoing education program, you're gonna have some of those scenarios happen,
Yes, it gives you the time, because typically we still tell lash artists, like, okay, after your certification, like, do 20 different people.
Yeah.
You need to see different anatomy, different client mannerisms.
Yep.
Some people snore, some people blink, and like, when you're dealing with 1 or 2 models that you did in 2 days, that doesn't give you real life experience or variety into like things that can happen. So if you come in and you have a training and then you can go out and do some models on your own, that's when you're like, shit.
Yeah.
I forgot how to do this, or what do I do with that? And then you can come back with questions, and then we'll make you stronger, and then you go out and struggle again, and then you come back and make you stronger. So, and then we have that opportunity, like 6 months later, we do drop-ins. Yeah. So maybe you're ambitious and you're like, I feel like I'm making a role. I'm going to have another day. I know that the doors are open, and I know what that entails.
Yeah. So, okay. How do you envision the mentorship program, like, existing with our other certifications?
So I think that the other we're just going to trade them out.
Okay.
We're not going to offer 2-day trainings anymore after this day. I'm going to be taking all upcoming classes down. We're going to reformat to this new system. But I do think that we should brainstorm how we can reach out to old students and maybe offer them some kind of special discount for a drop-in day. Yeah. Because I do think we should reconnect with all of our old students.
I agree. Yeah. What kind of support do you think that a new lash artist would need in their first year of lashing?
I think, obviously, ongoing access to their instructor. And I think that's a struggle for any instructor. Like, how do you provide that additional access, especially when you're also running your own business? You also have your own clients. I mean, let's just say you just started training. Sure, following up with 1 or 2 students might seem easy, but what happens when you're 2 or 3 or 18 years in and you have people reaching out? Your time isn't unlimited. So I feel like this ongoing mentorship day that you can offer, that we can offer, that you can offer, like, opens up that not only do you not have to feel bad about maybe not being available, but also the student doesn't have to feel bad about following up. Like, okay, like, cool, I know I can just drop in and have a mentorship session in 8 months, and I'm not going to have to feel like I'm bothering or like having to schedule it, because I just know it's already standing every 2 weeks. I think it's going to solve a lot of issues for both the students and the instructors.
Okay, perfect. How do you think that we're going to measure, like, success in the mentorship?
That's a good question. I think that's a good brainstorm we should have. I was planning on doing more before, during, and after interviewing steps. I mean, it doesn't have to even be elaborate. It's like a 5-minute like check-in. Like, how are you? What do you need? But I honestly, success would be measured in the confidence of the lash artist. Like, does that lash artist feel good? And since this program is so new, I mean, we don't have proof in the pudding. But what do you think? Do you think that we should have a system where we like reach back out to the students? Or, I mean,
Yeah, that's interesting. I think I'll have to sit on that one and kind of see what would be the best.
I think we could let them know we're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
On these days. Should mentorship be group-based, one-on-one, or a mix?
I think it could be a mix. I think that you actually learn a lot from other people and your peers. Like, I think it's actually important to work alongside people. I think
completely agree.
People run into different problems, different situations,
different questions.
I think even just like how we banter back and forth all day long. I mean, even I call you and I'm like, hey, this happened with a client. What would you do? Or, hey, I don't know what to do. Like, this happened. Like, I think that that's kind of the point of the mentorship program, is to have that community and to have, and I also think that, there might be things that come up for a new beginner lash artist that typically doesn't come up for us anymore because maybe we've worked past those things. So if it comes up for that student or that person taking the mentorship program, you know, it'll kind of reignite some things that maybe we would forget to cover.
Yeah, I agree. One-on-one attention is great.
Right.
But 100%, if I have at least 2 students or more, there's always a question that one will come up with that the other one doesn't come up with. So how about what role should experienced students play in mentoring newer ones? Well, I think this is a layer that we haven't talked about, but within so we're talking about a mentorship program, right? Where we're talking about bringing the lash artist in and they're practicing. What we haven't really mentioned is that these students will also first take our online course. And so we have a partnership online course that's a standalone course that we offer other instructors to use as well, that basically has changed the game for both of us as trainers. We started training with, okay, hour 1, let's go through the ABCs, which is kind of exhausting as an instructor and also kind of like a waste of time. Like there's so much to learn before you start the hands-on process. So in addition to what comes with the online course is the access to a community forever. And that's where students can participate in engaging with new students and asking questions or sharing wins or things like that. So I think that's a really nice addition to the mentorship program, building a relationship with a student in person, but also connecting with a whole community of people out there that might be at the same stage as you.
Exactly.
How do we want our community to be involved in shaping this? We are brainstorming this live with you because
we want your guys' opinions, your feedback, because ultimately, like, that's, you guys are the people that we want to work with or work alongside with or bring into our mentorship program. So, you know, we don't have anything that's like set in stone and we can't, like, we want to add and make it better.
There has to be people that agree, but I would love to know if people disagree. Help shape this program with a thought, a comment, or full participation. Honestly, we're inviting you to come along, and we're really grateful that you're here. So that is kind of how we're just going to go ahead and end our first episode of Society Talk. Thank you for being here. In our next episode, we're actually going to brainstorm a little bit about an audition program, which is something that we utilize to bring new lash artists into our salon. And I think a lot of salon owners, not only can salon owners benefit, but you know, solo artists can benefit from auditioning themselves. So
I agree.
Watch the next video. Leave us a comment if you have any ideas that you want us to brainstorm live, or if maybe you want to be a guest on our show. Let us know. So we'll see you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode.